Hello and welcome to the Evolve Pipedrive Podcast. We talk all things Pipedrive, sales, apps, and Pipedrive Marketplace. My name is Bruce Bignell. I'm the sales director here at Evolve, and today I'm welcomed by Bryan van Anrooij, the head of marketing at WebinarGeek.
Yes, thank you very
And
much
he's
for
going to
having us.
walk us through how Pipedrive and WebinarGeek interact, and with a short tutorial. So please, over to you, Bryan.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thanks for having me, of course, here. Shortly going to show you how the Pipedrive integration between Pipedrive and WebinarGeek works. It's very easily. Well, once you have set up your WebinarGeek account, you can go to Account again, Integrations, and here you can find all the integrations, and of course also the integration of Pipedrive. I've already set up my connection, but it's quite easy. You just have to log in into your Pipedrive account, and then it is set up. I've also prepared a webinar. Creating and publishing a webinar is done within minutes. And once you are done with creating your webinar, you also have the URL to the registration page. And we have multiple triggers that can be used between WebinarGeek and Pipedrive. One of the triggers is new subscriber, and that means, and is super useful, that every single subscriber is automatically being pushed towards your Pipedrive, and that can be done as a contact or as a deal. In the case that it is a deal, then it can also be updated. So once you say once someone subscribes that is already in your database, then it will just update the contact instead of creating a new one. I will quickly show you. I will register myself for my own webinar. Here we go. Confirm the sign up, and then here I was already testing it, of course, before. Here we have a list of all the contacts, like you know, of course, from Pipedrive. And here we are. I've just been added to the list of contacts. Same can be done with deals. What might also be good to know is that the same actions can be taken for new viewers, for paid subscribers, and also for no viewers. So you can send an update when someone shows up or doesn't show up to your webinar. This whole integration makes it much easier to hand over all the leads from your webinar to your sales team, for example. But also, if you're working with on-demand webinars, then you see that your Pipedrive contact database or your deal database will keep on being filled with new potential nice leads, of course.
So from the integration piece, what else can you pull over from WebinarGeek there? Can you have the title of the webinar, so then you can sort in Pipedrive where those leads have come from, or is there a label that you can? How would you handle that?
Good question. At this moment, you can also add the company name or organization name, the phone number. It is not possible yet with the Pipedrive, with the unique WebinarGeek Pipedrive integration to also add the webinar title, but that can be done with Zapier. So if you have the integration between WebinarGeek and Zapier and Pipedrive, then you can connect those two. And in that case, all the information, so also, for example, the date and time of the webinar, can be given from WebinarGeek to Pipedrive.
Nice.
And to be honest, we are using Pipedrive as WebinarGeek as well, and we are doing exactly the same with our leads. They are subscribing for a webinar, and they immediately go to our, and I have to say it well, the lead inbox.
Yes.
And that is super helpful to get an overview of all our subscribers, and also to just update and notify the sales team members that we have, like, hey, this might be interesting because this person just watched 30 minutes of our newest webinar.
Yeah, no, that's. I'm glad you used the lead side, because I think the leads inbox is quite underutilized within the Pipedrive universe, and just people that use it. It's a great place to store an engaged, like a marketing qualified lead, right? As opposed to a contact that's actually going to close, or a prospect that's going to close. I actually want to go back one step onto. There was a countdown on.
Yeah.
So on that seven days. So
Yeah.
that's live, right? So is that counting down
To
live
the
on your Webinar Geek, and then once that goes live?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So the webinar that I set up is in 7 days. So the 13th of April. That is just a random choice
Yeah.
from me. But once it hits like that moment, then you can open the webinar and actually start the webinar.
Mhm.
For now, in Webinar Geek, if you want to test things out, there is also an option to do a dry run where you can just test everything, and everything is the same as the live environment. But with the dry run, you can really just like test things out, see it as a sandbox environment,
Yeah,
just
great.
to
And
play
would
around.
you, as a use case, would you see that as you might invite the speakers on to kind of test their slides
Yeah,
or wherever else?
yeah, to test the slides, but also especially if you're new with webinar software or new with Webinar Geek, then it is especially very good to just like practice a bit with the software, because your hardware can be great, the software can be great itself, but just knowing what a button does in the end
Yeah,
helps you to feel more comfortable during a webinar.
yeah,
So
brilliant.
that helps a lot, yeah. And it is also whenever someone subscribes to your webinar, they also will see a countdown page. So whenever they are going there way too soon, then they see the countdown going slowly down to the moment of that you're going live, that you're stepping into the spotlight, is how we call it.
Yeah, I like it. Is there anything else you want to show from the kind of integration side?
No, no, no. I think that's it. It is especially, I think, good to know that this might like keep your sales funnel like rolling further. Like every single subscriber that you have, it might feel as, but I'm only hosting a webinar once in the 3 months, for example. Then all of a sudden I have a lot of contacts that I need to contact. But consider like transferring that live webinar, that one moment, and creating an on-demand webinar from it, so that you have a constant flow of new subscribers coming to your webinar.
Yeah, understood. Yeah, so it's you kind of evergreen content that then can be reused and
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly. And then it is also much more fun for salespeople to just like see every day 5 new leads coming in,
yeah,
instead of on that one day having 200 leads, and then the next day with their hands in their hair they are trying to call and follow up everyone. Well, it might be much nicer to just have like 5 a day. That is easier than, of course, 200 on one day.
yeah.
Makes it more
No,
comfortable.
I like it. Okay, well, thank you very much, Brian. That
Yeah,
was a brilliant intro to how the two systems integrate. We'll be sure to have because we've got a trial link that you can either find Webinar Geek on the Pipedrive Marketplace, or you can click on the link below to give it a try yourself for 14 days. And thank you very much. And till next time. See you
thank you.
later.
Bye bye.